All right, everyone, welcome along. So it's got to that point, hasn't it, where we need to kind of draw a line under where we've got to with our England food hygiene data set. Now, this report pack has done an awful lot of work for us. So it's worth taking the time, reviewing kind of what it actually did and how it can be used to showcase what your business can do and how you can leverage getting the most out of Power BI for your business without spending an absolute arm and a leg, because that was the point of this data set. That was the point of this video series. Was Power BI is an enterprise grade solution, but it doesn't need to come with an enterprise grade price tag. And there's nothing wrong with that. Is fundamentally you get something that does a brilliant set of work for you, that enables you and your business, your team, to get to that next level and move forward. And so let's cut on over and let's see what we've done with this. And also let's review the last piece of the link, didn't it? The PowerPoint. So here we are, Power BI. Okay. This has been our home for so long, hasn't it, with what we've been going on with this? Yeah, we've built the scorecard, we've got that show and everything. Okay. Some of the things that we've managed to get and prove with you, and I realize we didn't show it in the video last week, but yeah, job applicant now has London to look after. So it's the Power App works, isn't it? We can change things. Then obviously job applicant could go in and do the work they need to do, put the comments in. If they realize, oh, I'm leaving, or something's happening, change the owner. IT aren't getting involved. We're not dragging other people into it. We're managing what's going on. But what does that look like on the other side? Because that's the point, isn't it? That was always the goal. What does it look like in PowerPoint? The answer is like this, okay? It's not difficult, it's not crazy. But what this does is these are linked report pages. This is one of the things you can now do with Power BI and PowerPoint. So you can have these bringing in live data. You probably wouldn't want to do it before you went into a board meeting. So what we'd probably say before you went would be to set this to be one of the snapshots that you've got. Okay, but if you see something funky, you can switch it back into a live mode. You can go and investigate. Oh yeah, this is what's going on. It's a complete game changer. We're not building slides anymore. We're not doing these things, taking time and effort to do it. And what I've built was we've got this idea here because these are all live and interactive. So by default, we'd probably say, right, we're going to go into the boardroom. We want to look at which of our metrics are at risk. So we can select at risk. And remember, okay, you can configure these. These could meet whatever your business's naming convention is or criteria is for it. So a couple of clicks, we'd be able to go and see, all right, our food hygiene is at risk. The risk areas are the Northwest, London, and the West Midlands. And this is all automated, remember. This is automatically rule-based, defining, saying these are below a set number, they're going to appear as at risk. Okay, and we've got our goal of being above 4.7, but we say, I think it's above 4.6 that it goes green, but we'd like above 4.7. So you can have all sorts of things going on with this, that you've got your rules, your logic going through, you've highlighted straight away, this is the problem, okay? And I was thinking about this before when we were talking to a retail client just yesterday, that you could actually have this built up around your stores, and you'd have your top level might be a country, and then you'd have your specific stores, or you could have, and each store can have submetrics. So your submetrics have submetrics. So you could have your core metrics that you have. So in this case, we've got for each region, we've got a number of businesses, we've got the average hygiene, and we've got the local authorities. We could go into that next level down and we could build that, then tailor it and actually build something very quickly. And even if you got to the point of saying, right, we've got on this scorecard, we've got, say, 2,000 metrics, it would be a pain in the backside to manage, okay? But you could subdivide it because your store manager might manage their store metrics. Again, we've got the Power App that allows them to see what goes on. You can start to actually build something very complex, but also incredibly simplistic because it's a hierarchical structure. So yeah, you might end up having to front load or burn like some consultancy days in terms of getting it pieced together and building those 2,000 metrics, for example, if that's what you wanted to do. But the ongoing management and maintenance of it would be minimal. And that's what you want, isn't it? So what we've done, as I say, with this, we can come in, use whatever it is, see what's at risk. Straight away, we're able to target and say, right, what's happening with this? We've got the notes, they're front and center there. We can click on it. Bear in mind, I'm still in PowerPoint here, and we can see what's happened. What are the notes? That's the values of Northwest of preceding pubs in particular seem to be the issue. Okay. I didn't look at these. These were just ones I put in. So don't question this too closely. Okay. But again, everything here is within a PowerPoint. So I'm not going elsewhere, and we've brought our scorecard front and center. What I've also done, obviously, with this one is where we've built a tailored one more around the Northeast. So we're looking at the Northeast, and this is linked to a report page. Now, in theory, you could build this around anything that you wanted, couldn't you? So you could have your store one, you could have anything you wanted. They're not the easiest to build, I'll be honest. These metrics, visuals that they have, I don't like them. Okay, I genuinely don't. They're great, they're brilliant, but everything's very manual bringing it in. It takes time. So if I had to do a load of these, it would be, it'd be a lot of time. But again, it's not highly skilled. Once we get a couple of people doing this, we give to one of the juniors even, and they'd work through and we do whatever was needed. Your analyst team, once this is set up though, again, everything's really clear. The main thing with this is you'll come to it. So I'd say if you're going to do it, do this for something specific. So for a specific business challenge or continual improvement update or continual improvement update plan that you're going to then track over time. Because the nice thing with this, don't forget, because these metrics will keep running, if I get to the point and it says, all right, it's been 6 months since that finished, no one's tracked it for 6 months. As long as the underlying report keeps running, which the nature of Power BI is probably will be, because you shouldn't be stopping things running anymore because they're not going on. We can go back. We can say, well, that update was planned last year. What happened with it? Go in here, have a look and see. Oh, something, it's gone off a cliff, maybe. Oh, terrible. This is where these really become game changing. This is the whole point of getting this to work. Yeah. So this all began, didn't it? Okay, with these XML files, right? And one XML file is for each local authority. Okay, and they look a bit, this is a bit, I don't want to try and read that kind of thing is what you'd be thinking. And you'd be right, you don't want to mess with that. The point of this was that this is where loads of businesses begin, right? We've got someone's done something, they've watched a video, I've seen this great video, Geordie Intelligence, an amazing YouTube channel, talking about things. The first step is going to be saying, right, I've got a daily feed that I produce, right? I get a spreadsheet gets sent into me, I download a CSV file, I go and run an export from this business system. Okay, these are what we hear. This is what we see day in, day out with new clients. From that, I then produce some content and send it on. Okay, that's what happens. Does this ring a bell? You go, oh, we do that. What we can do here, though, okay, we said, oh, look, we've used this largely because the geographical nature makes it makes it much easier to understand. Oh, it's expanding. Okay, we can take one file, we can place it in a folder like this. We can connect Excel to it because hey, we're using Excel today. Why do we do anything else? Okay, Excel's great for this kind of thing. It's got Power Query built into it, the same as Power BI. You've got your O365 licensing. You're covered for that. Brilliant. So we go through, we connect to it. And suddenly, instead of just looking at one file, we can say, well, I want to look at all the files that are in that folder. So my daily folder, I just dump the next day's file in there. It reads them through. We can build a data model around there, a simple one. Okay, even if we just prefix, which I've done in the past, we just prefix the daily numbers with today's date, for example, right? Or the creator date or the date from the file name, because invariably there's a date in the file name. we can start to piece that all together. This is today's, this was yesterday's, this was the day before's. We can do comparative analysis. What's the change in this queue? What's the change in productivity? What's the change in profitability? What's the change in whatever? Okay. And then here's the best bit. Okay. Tomorrow when I need to do it, dump the file in there, hit refresh on Excel. Here's my new report. So instead of me spending 20, 30 minutes doing that and producing, well, this is what the numbers are today, potentially going and getting my calculator out, writing down like what did the change right, which I've seen done many, many times. I've hit refresh. It's there. The insights are there, as it were. And that grows over time. So we've taken that, haven't we? This idea, we've got a few of these spreadsheets here, or XML files in this case, but spreadsheets for you. Yeah. And we've built this, haven't we? Where we've got like our lovely source where we're just going to a web page for this case. Okay. Depending on whatever it is you do, you can do it. Right. We've pulled all our local authority data through. We've written a function. It's pulled it all in. Right. And suddenly we've gone from nothing to 430,000 rows or so, okay, of data in terms of this is everything. And you can piece those together. And then I've put it in a data flow, brought it into Power BI, we've visualized it. So at most, the pivot point for a business is around that Excel spreadsheet. Because Excel's great, but when you have to refresh it to do it, you lose a lot there. Well, you don't lose, but it's not automatic, is it? Okay. We can now automate these things. So we can use Power Automate if it's an email that comes in. Have Power Automate, pick that email out, place it into, or the file, place it into, say, a SharePoint folder. It's ideal for this kind of thing. Okay. And then that SharePoint folder could be read by a Power BI data flow, and you've got a data model being built from that. It all just, it goes, right? And all those things that cause problems for your business case or for your business, you don't have to do for this. Once you've done all this and you've shown the value, you can have that discussion more realistically with a business about, where do we go from here? What's the next step? The next step is, well, we've always had that problem, haven't we? That we've got our lovely data set. We've got our report that comes through. Okay. We can see our reports here. Okay, we can create secondary reports, so we can have multiple reports all tied to that first one. Yeah, so we're suddenly going and we're having that we've got one report is now feed, or one semantic model can now feed hundreds of reports. Okay, and in real world terms, I have seen around 120 off one semantic model. That's about the maximum I've seen. Okay, in my real world experience, but there's theoretically no limit. And there's stuff coming through now as Microsoft progresses and continues to evolve the platform, which is going to make that better and better and better going forward. Okay. But we had this idea, we've got secondary reports we can start to piece together. So more content, more value is derived from that simple thing. And don't forget, this all started from a single file. So our daily file, suddenly we're able to pull it all through, do everything we need with it. The last thing, because this is all just a daily snapshot, there's nothing in our data that goes historic. In your data, given you might be daily, you might have that. But what we can do though with this is we can actually piece together and bring in something like this, where we've actually got now a scorecard that shows us over a period of time how things have progressed. Okay. And being able to do all these things, it just works, just happens. It changes how everything runs for an organization. We've got the capability now of actually tracking metrics over time and seeing, and go up and down and see how everything's progressing, what's going on with it. Okay. And again, this is all automated. We can tie this back through. We wrote a Power App, didn't we, at the front end as well, so that it was able to be managed at the front end and to have things go forward. But the only thing I've looked at and thought, do you know what, I might need to make a tweak of this, was around with the Power App, with the PowerPoint leading from it, there wasn't an easy way to get to these notes. Like I had to kind of click through and it brought me to this view. It didn't just present it. There was no way of just getting that content out. So it might be worth writing that into our SharePoint list that we've got going as backend, the latest comment, and then you can feed that into your Power BI report pack. It's not difficult though, is it? Kind of straight, a couple of days, well, not even a couple of days, a couple of hours, if that. We've got now this really tightly managed and governable reporting solution that's all built on the basis from, I've got a couple of Excel spreadsheets. And instead of just being a one-off, someone spending half an hour a day writing something up with it, we've managed to put something together. We've got proper governance now in terms of, Ross, you need to put an update in as to what's happened once a month, because I've got something that tells me Ross hasn't done it this month. We can put me on the hook for it. I could put you on the hook for it. I could put anybody in the business on the hook for providing that information. And that's what you want. All from a spreadsheet that used to take half an hour a day of someone's time, get sent out. People wouldn't look at it. Updates wouldn't occur. And you're chasing your tail the whole time to suddenly being very proactive. So what do you reckon then? Okay. I'd be very surprised if reading it or watching this, you're not thinking, well, we don't have any spreadsheets in use in our business, because you'd be like the only one I know that doesn't. It's a sad truth. They're kind of everywhere. And one of the things that we can do with this, though, is if you start with this low-hanging fruit of we automate this, we can put something around it, it makes a difference. Now seeing and doing what we've done this year with this, where we've folded in the whole metrics piece as well and expanded on what they can do, it's kind of just like it's exploded this whole concept that we can now piece together everything that you need to do in your business and roll it forward and keep your business progressing, because it's all just gonna fold in. We've got the idea that, well, instead of me manually building and chasing this report every week, month, year, whatever it is I have to do, because presumably I'm doing something daily, then I've got to do a weekly summary of it, and then I'm going to do like a monthly summary of it. It's all automatic now. And then because we've got that automatic now, and we can track it throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year as it progresses, we've now also got the capability of pushing out updates. So the store manager might have to update to say, oh, well, we experienced this, we've done that, whatever the board wants. And we can make these things come front and center depending on how we want to do it. We can put it so, because we're using Power Automate and the whole Power Platform now with this, we could piece it together. So, for example, a manager puts an update in, it goes into a Teams channel for something. Okay, well, there's logic that we can do for it. So there's a Teams channel, or somebody's notified, or an email sends it to the area manager to say, oh, this is what so-and-so has said. It can all be pieced together. There's a logical structure that you can build into this. And it's not difficult, it's not high cost, and it's not something that's going to make you go, oh, I don't know what to do. There's no additional licenses really needed with what we've done today, or with this whole series. So it's, you can get away with your basic O365 subscription and a Power BI subscription if you want the Power BI components. If you want to just stick with Excel, you won't have the metrics. There's things you won't be able to do. But there'd be things we could piece together within Excel, and we could say, right, here we go. We can link Excel to Power. I wouldn't do that, by the way. Excel linked to Powerapps is a terrible data source. But you can link Excel to your lists, which you can then do it. Yeah. If you really want to do it, you could. I'd say, in terms of the cost of it, that's where, what you're saving and buying Power BI subscriptions, you're losing on the extra workload and management overhead that you're going to have of trying to keep Excel working with something like the metrics. Because anyway, right, we're not doing that. It's there and it just runs. I can't say it enough. So let us know. Obviously, when you decide that you want to do this and you think, well, we could really do with some help and guidance and support, don't forget, get in touch with Geordie Consultant and they'll help you. office@geordieconsultant.co.uk. Send us an email we'll be in touch and help you. For now, though, stay safe, take care, and stick with us for the next series on New York. Ta-da.